Well, it's another episode, and tonight I'm staying at Willow River State Park here in Hudson, Wisconsin. It's just gorgeous out here. Nice, beautiful woods. I've got my tent set up in the back of my truck again, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful evening spending next to the fire. Gonna make some burgers here pretty soon. It's gonna be great. I'm only probably about 25 or 30 minutes from St. Paul, and that's where I'm heading tomorrow, because I'm going to be brewing with the Chop and Brew crew. So I'm really looking forward to this. I've known these guys for a few years, but no matter how many times I get together with them, I always feel like a fanboy, because that's kind of how I discovered these guys, is through Brewing TV and Chop and Brew. And I finally met a couple of them. I met Brian Adams and Chip Walton at a Wild Beers tasting festival in St. Paul, I think it was. And then from there, just got to know the guys even better and been hanging out with them several times. It's been great to hang out with these guys. They're just down-to-earth people, fantastic bunch of guys. So tomorrow we're going to be brewing. I'll get you more details tomorrow as to what we're brewing. I think we're brewing a Barleywine with Spelt malt. So I'll get you more details on the whole recipe and everything like that. All right, so here's the road coming in. It's kind of like a little circle here, and there's campers over there today. Some people in the trees over there on the other side of this little roundabout thing here. They're setting up a camper. Just a gorgeous looking little area to have a camp out. Some beautiful red pines in the background. And there's my truck. As you can see, my tent's on the back, so I'm gonna walk you over to the tent here and give you a little look at how this is all set up and how it turns the back of my truck into a nice place to sleep. So I bought this tent a couple years ago, or actually last year I bought it because we were going to Breckenridge for a wedding, Breckenridge, Colorado. And I decided to leave a couple days early and take a ride out to Custer State Park in South Dakota. And then I took a day hike, or a day trip to Devil's Tower. It was awesome. I had a great time that day. But here's the truck with the camper on it, or the tent. There's my fishing poles. Might get some fishing in. All right, so there's the inside. I've got a little cot with my sleeping bag, pillow. That little light there will hang up at the top. There's a little hook up there. You can hang your light. Got some pockets on the side here to put some stuff in, like your keys and wallet for the night and things like that. But as you can see, it's kind of like a tarp, and it tarps the whole inside of the bed of the truck, so it's completely waterproof. And then the tent itself hangs over the truck. So when the water comes, plus I've got the rain fly on here, but when the water comes, if it rains, it all comes over and just rolls right over the truck. Doesn't get inside the bed or anything like that. And as you can see, it's kind of tucked in over here too, in the back of my truck. So it'll just go right down into that little crack there. So as you can see, I've got some pines. Now, I've already been out there walking around and found some deer track and everything. So it's possible we might see some deer this evening. But there's plenty of kindling firewood to get from these trees, and they're red pines. So I got some fat wood to start the fire. Here we are here. The little trail that goes in there just kind of hugs through there a little bit. Nice little campsite. Here we are. This is what I'm cooking up tonight. So I'm gonna make some 3 cheese hamburgers. Put some extra cheese on it, of course. Gonna saute some mushrooms, throw those on top. A little bit of hickory and brown sugar Sweet Baby Ray's, salt, pepper, and virgin olive oil to put in my little pan here. I like to put a little bit of virgin olive oil on the pan every time, non-stick. Got my plastic silverware. There's my fat wood that I got. As you can see, that stain there, that's stuff that will burn really well. And then I got my fire set up and ready to go. All right, well, there was the tour of the campsite. It's time to cook. I'm pretty hungry. Time to try the burger. Mmm. Oh yeah. Mmm. Oh. Yummy. Mmm. Oh, that's a good cheese. That Baby Ray's was a good choice. Hickory and brown sugar. Mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna finish this off and then get the fire started. Sitting down by the fire with a Crispy and the boys. Crispy lager. I don't want to see those clowns tonight in the woods. This is right outside my tent this morning. About 6:30. Looks like, oh, there's one fawn still with spots. 3 fawns. And I'm cooking brisket right now while I'm looking at some little deer. That's a small buck. Don't seem to be that afraid though. You're probably used to people.
What the hell's a Spelt wine? I know what a barley wine is. Well, I know what a wheat wine is.
Yeah, they say Spelt is basically wheat, but a a heritage version, not virgin. That's different. Version of wheat. So high protein, definitely has that typical wheat bite to it.
Well, you get that palate fullness, you get that sweetness, but then you also, it's like, it's drying.
Yes.
Even almost, I would say, like kind of tangy.
Yeah, tangy, absolutely.
In the
Yep.
finish.
Yep.
Quick tangent. You say Spelt. You actually put in sour beers to keep some kind of essence of body.
Yeah.
Keep it from thinning out.
Yep. So 3 to 5% in most of the sour beers that I make, to prevent them, even though like gravity-wise, they'll still be bone dry, 1 Plato or less. But they'll still have like a palate filling sensation.
Definitely
But
does.
even with this, it's like you have this palate filling beer, but it still finishes like nice and dry.
Yep.
Like when the liquid's there, like on your tongue, it's very full. But
And I think on
You
this one,
swallow 'em, it's
my
gone.
starting gravity was 1084. I was a little low, but my final gravity was 1018. So I mean, for a beer this big, it is relatively dryish, but the malt definitely holds on.
So there's Spelt.
Yep, and then Vienna malt, which is Venora Mecca grade,
Yep.
and honey malt.
So these three kind of very characterful malts.
Yep,
Magnum,
correct.
Hallertau Blanc.
Correct. Yep, and Nelson's Oven.
there's a nice amount of residual sweetness. You don't have too much hop bitterness or anything kind of pulling back. And even though the beer finishes dry now, it's going to be drier after it comes out of the barrel. And then some of those sweet notes that you have are going to play really well with those tannins and everything that you're going to get from the oak, a little bit of that char. Going with something that leans a little sweet like this is right now is going to be totally pulled back towards the
really?
drier tannin. And then if we get some of those like bonus flavors from the barrel, like that vanilla, those coconutty notes, again, just stuff that's really going to play well with what we have in this beer here.
Today's been a very amazing day. We've been brewing beer all day, tasting different things. This is a Flanders Red, brewed by Chuck Gosnell. Really good. And we've had a number of different tasty beers from different breweries and stuff that we brewed ourselves. Right behind me here is the boil going on for the Spelt wine, which is coming along nicely. So we've brewed roughly 20 gallons of the Spelt wine that's going to go into the barrel. Over here, we got Chip Walton. Okay. We got Paul Illa, the master brewer here.
Why do you guys keep calling me
the
a master
guy,
brewer?
the guy who put this whole day together.
No, I just went along with for the ride.
No, he put together the recipe, and he's a very humble guy, very humble. He just tries to hang out in the shadows over here, but he's not hanging out in the shadows today. He's on camera.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'm back at home, and we wrapped up that brew day around 7 o'clock. It was just a great day. We had a great time, hung out, had some great food. People took off around 7 or so, and Leaf and I hung out the rest of the night. Did some cleanup, had some Doritos and a couple of beers out on the deck, and just kind of caught up and chatted till probably about 10 or 11 o'clock or so. Then we went to bed. We woke up the next morning. We pitched the yeast. So we ended up with a little shy of 20 gallons. But we pitched the yeast, and he sent me some video of that, which I'm gonna put at the end of this video, along with some pictures of the food that we made. I brought some venison. Leaf made some really tasty chicken wings, and then some smash burgers later on. So if it wasn't enough to eat a bunch of venison and a ton of chicken wings with some really, really good sauces, he had to go and cook up a bunch of burgers too. And I had a double cheeseburger and it was tasty. But at the end of the day, it was meat coma for everybody, I think. So anyhow, before I wrap this portion of the video up, this right here is the Pequod Session IPA. So I haven't done a tasting notes in a while, and I'm going to keep this one really short. So here it goes. Well, it's really good. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you a little bit more. So basically, I will compare this to a all-day IPA. I could probably drink 4 or 5 of these in a row and feel pretty good. And not, yeah, there's my cat down there poking at my leg. So, not be too, wasted or anything like that. This is like a 4%, a little over 4, I think 4.2 it came in at. So it's an easy drinking all day IPA, basically. Very good. Cheers to another great recipe from Michael Dawson. I'm really enjoying brewing these beers and doing this challenge. So I'm going to wrap it up now, and stay tuned for some really good pictures and a little bit of video from the end of the day. See ya.